Is one of Italy's most popular cities about to get wiped off the face of the planet? Now, this may sound like the start of a cheesy disaster movie, but what if I told you that it could be reality? It all has to do with an enormous supervolcano that lies just beneath Naples. The Italian supervolcano, also known as the Campi Flegrei, is one of the world's largest and most dangerous volcanoes. This colossal beast is responsible for some of the most devastating volcanic events in human history. And now, scientists are warning that it could be due for an eruption that could destroy the nearby city of Naples. So how worried should we be? Let's take a closer look at the Italian supervolcano and find out. The Italian supervolcano is located near the city of Naples, which is home to over 4 million people. It is one of the most popular tourist destinations in Italy, known for its beautiful coastal scenery and rich history. However, the city is also located in an area that is highly prone to earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. The nearby Mount Vesuvius is one of the most infamous volcanoes in the world, having destroyed the Roman city of Pompeii in 79 AD. But compared to the Italian supervolcano, Vesuvius is relatively small. The Italian supervolcano is actually a caldera, which is a large crater formed by a volcanic eruption. The caldera is about 9 by 13 kilometers wide and is home to several smaller volcanoes and geothermal vents. The supervolcano has been dormant for thousands of years, but scientists believe that it could erupt again in the future. They know this because they have been studying the area for years, and they have found evidence of past eruptions as well as signs that the volcano is still active. In fact, the last eruption of the Italian supervolcano was so powerful that it is believed to have caused a worldwide climate change. The eruption occurred around 39,000 years ago, and is thought to have released between 280 and 510 cubic kilometers of ash and pumice. This massive amount of material would have had a major impact on the global climate, leading to a period of global cooling. The eruption was so powerful that it is considered to be one of only 6 events in the history of the Earth that could have potentially led to the extinction of the dinosaurs. Luckily for us, the eruption happened long before the dinosaurs ever existed. But it's still amazing to think about the power of nature and the potential impact that a volcanic eruption can have on our planet. As if that wasn't enough, the Italian supervolcano isn't done yet. In recent years, scientists have noticed that the volcano has been getting more active. The ground has been shaking, and there have been more cases of geothermal vents opening up. This has led to speculation that the volcano could be due for another eruption, and if that happens, it could be catastrophic. The Campi Flegrei is one of 3 supervolcanoes in the world that's overdue for an eruption. The other 2 are Yellowstone National Park in the United States and Lake Toba in Indonesia. Scientists use a variety of methods to monitor the activity of the Italian supervolcano. One of the most important tools they use are seismographs, which are instruments used to detect earthquakes. Earthquakes are often the first sign of volcanic activity, and seismographs can help scientists identify when the volcano is starting to rumble to life. In addition to seismographs, scientists also use GPS and radar to monitor the movement of the ground. This can help them identify areas that are swelling or bulging, which could indicate that magma is rising from the depths of the volcano. Scientists also use remote sensing technologies, such as satellites and aerial drones, to monitor changes in the shape of the volcano over time. These technologies allow scientists to identify even the smallest changes in the volcano, which can provide valuable insights into its activity levels. But despite all of these monitoring efforts, scientists are still struggling to predict when the next eruption will occur. There are a number of factors that make predicting volcanic eruptions extremely difficult. One of the most important factors is the complexity of the volcano itself. Supervolcanoes are incredibly complicated systems, and their behavior is difficult to understand. Additionally, the technology needed to monitor volcanoes is expensive and often limited, which makes it challenging to collect the data needed to make accurate predictions. Furthermore, the lead-up to a volcanic eruption can be long and drawn out, making it difficult to identify the warning signs. Sometimes eruptions can be preceded by months or even years of unrest. during which time the volcano may exhibit a variety of different behaviors. This makes it difficult to distinguish between minor and major events, and can lead to false alarms or missed opportunities for evacuation. Despite these challenges, scientists are working hard to improve their ability to predict volcanic eruptions. By studying the warning signs and using advanced monitoring technologies, they hope to give people living near volcanoes the time they need to evacuate in the event of an eruption. But even with the best technology and research, predicting when a supervolcano will erupt remains a difficult task. So what would happen if the Italian supervolcano erupted today? The impact of such an eruption would be devastating. Ash and debris would blanket the surrounding area, killing crops and blocking out the sun. Pyroclastic flows, which are fast-moving currents of hot gas and solid matter, would race down the slopes of the volcano, incinerating everything in their path. The air would be filled with poisonous gases, and the ground would shake with earthquakes. Entire cities would be buried under meters of ash and pumice, killing hundreds of thousands of people. If the eruption was large enough, it could trigger a tsunami that would devastate coastal communities for miles around. In fact, the 39,000-year-old eruption of the Italian supervolcano likely triggered a tsunami that hit Greece and other parts of the Mediterranean. It was estimated that the wave was up to 100 meters high, which is higher than the famous tsunami that hit Japan in 2011. If such a tsunami were to hit today, it could cause widespread devastation. And let's not forget about the long-term effects of a supervolcanic eruption. Ash and debris would continue to fall for weeks or even months after the initial blast. This would contaminate water supplies and make the air unbreathable. Survivors would face a long and difficult struggle to rebuild their lives in the aftermath of the disaster. When we think of volcanoes, we often picture the iconic Mount Vesuvius, which looms over the Bay of Naples in Italy. Vesuvius is famous for its role in the destruction of the Roman city of Pompeii in 79 AD. But compared to the Italian supervolcano, Vesuvius is a relatively small volcano. The Italian supervolcano is actually a caldera, which is a large crater formed by a volcanic eruption. The caldera is about 9 by 13 kilometers wide and is home to several smaller volcanoes and geothermal vents. The supervolcano has been dormant for thousands of years, but scientists believe that it could erupt again in the future. Although the Italian supervolcano is located in an area that is highly prone to earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, the risk of eruption is relatively low. According to the National Institute for Geophysics and Volcanology, the probability of an eruption in the next 100 years is less than 1%. However, the consequences of an eruption would be so devastating that it is important to continue monitoring the volcano closely. In fact, scientists are so concerned about the potential risk of the Italian supervolcano that they have developed a plan for evacuating the area in the event of an eruption. The plan calls for all residents within a 5-kilometer radius of the volcano to be evacuated within 24 hours. This would affect hundreds of thousands of people and would require a massive mobilization of resources. But it is necessary to ensure the safety of the population in the event of an eruption. So while the risk of an eruption is relatively low, it is important not to become complacent. Scientists will continue to monitor the volcano closely, and the authorities will continue to develop plans to mitigate the risk of a potential eruption. It is a serious issue that requires our attention and planning. Now let me leave you with this. Over the past few decades, scientists have discovered a previously unknown danger posed by the Italian supervolcano. Underneath the caldera, they found a vast underground lake of magma, which is a pool of molten rock that fuels volcanic eruptions. The discovery was made using a technique called gravity gradiometry, which measures variations in the Earth's gravitational field. The scientists found that the gravity readings in the caldera were lower than expected, indicating the presence of a large mass of dense material below the surface. Further analysis revealed that the dense material was most likely a body of magma that had been slowly accumulating beneath the caldera for centuries. This discovery raised concerns that the Italian supervolcano could erupt at any moment, as the pressure from the magma chamber could eventually exceed the strength of the surrounding rock, leading to a catastrophic eruption. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe for more updates on all things science. We've got plenty more videos coming your way, so don't miss out on all the fun.